In just 1 year of college basketball, Duke's forward Cooper Flagg has cemented his name amongst the greats. Eluded of a championship to crown it all, NBA legends have seen enough to admit that he is the real deal. So join me as I walk you through what NBA legends think makes Cooper Flagg so good.
I think Cooper is very special. I think he's a talent, he's a skilled player that we haven't seen in a long time at that.
Cooper Flagg he defends. He's like an old school white boy. They out there playing hard as a mother.
Best prospect in college basketball history? Just a championship short of being arguably the best one-and-done player ever, Cooper Flagg's freshman year in college was definitely one for the ages. In the history of the NCAA, no freshman has ever averaged 19.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1.4 blocks. Cooper Flagg led the Blue Devils in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, the first player to ever do such in a Final Four game. You know, being the best player on the Duke team is one thing, but being the best college basketball player as a freshman, that is no small feat. Cooper Flagg is the Associated Press Men's College Basketball National Player of the Year. The 18-year-old forward joins Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and Zion Williamson as the only men's freshman to win the Wooden Award in its 64-year history. Pretty elite company if you ask me, and deservedly so.
They got it right the first time, and picked off. Flagg on the attack, on the slam, and a foul!
Flagg, two-man pick and roll. The roll, oh, right over Badunga.
He arrived at Duke with high expectations and made sure to supersede all of them. And a talent like that is most definitely not going unnoticed in the NBA world. In fact, he has caught the attention of one too many NBA legends who are in awe of his ability at such a young age. And one of the many NBA legends who is shocked by his talent, Hall of Famer and one of the greatest one-and-done players in college history, Carmelo Anthony. NBA legends react. In his only season at Syracuse, Melo set the standard for all future one-and-dones. When he played for Syracuse, there was no NBA draft age limit. He could have gone pro, and yet he led the Orange to the only championship in their history. In the Final Four contest, he scored a total of 53 points, stunting on Texas in the national semifinals for 33 points and 14 rebounds, before adding 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists against Kansas in the title game. Just 3 assists shy of a triple-double.
Shut down this time, gets it right back. See where he gets it back in a little closer, and that makes him have so much advantage over Langston.
Clock 7-second differential. Anthony over Collison this time. Oh,
that was not a good.
Anyway, fast forward to 22 years after his exploits, and he has found a similar talent in Cooper Flagg. And according to the Hall of Famer, he is a skilled player that we haven't seen in a long time at that age. Carmelo Anthony believes that the young forward is really skilled, and one thing that makes him stand out among many other talents is that he affects the game in so many different ways.
I think Cooper is very special. I think he's a talent, he's a skilled player that we haven't seen in a long time at that. But he's really, really good. I think he's really, really talented. He's really, really skilled. He affects the game in so many different ways other than just scoring the basketball. So I think that part of the game is something that I really love watching him and admire him.
Speaking about what makes Cooper Flagg so good, the 10-time All-Star highlighted Flagg's offensive arsenal, noting that his energy and motor at such a young age is something like never before.
I got that tape. He lead in every statistical category. He just impacts the game at a totally high level. He's 6'9" with length. He's scoring so many different ways. Cutting to the basket, transition, block shot. That takes a different type of motor.
Another former NBA star to address his unique motor is NBA champion J.R. Rider. 5th overall pick admits that he has met him a couple of times and believes that he is a generational talent. J.R. explained that his range sure makes him stand out amongst his peers. However, his ability to be effective without having the ball is highly underrated and is one that makes him so good. The former shooting guard doubled down on his praises, stating that the sky is the limit for Cooper Flagg.
I like him a lot. He's a generational talent for sure. At first, I was thinking he would be a situational player coming in. Like, it has to be the right situation, has to be the right team, has to be the right fit. But the more that he keeps going, I'm like, well, wherever he goes, he's going to make a difference. He's going to make a splash. and he's a big boy. He's a big kid, you know. So, and he's developed his range. He's developed his range. He's stepping out there shooting that thing a little bit more. So, I think the sky's the limit for him, and that's another guy who's super athletic, got motor, and he plays without the ball, gentlemen. He can play without the ball. So I think he'll make a very, very good pro.
Well, another former NBA star who is in awe of his motor is former small forward Matt Barnes. According to the former Lakers and Clippers star, motor used to be non-negotiable in his time. However, he can't help but admit that Cooper Flagg's motor is one reason that he is so good amongst his peers.
AJ and Cooper, my favorite two thing about as talented, they have a fucking motor. And the motor used to be non-negotiable in our days. Now having a motor is a skill set, which is crazy. But both those stars have motors. They both locked in on both sides. We saw Cooper take his hard knocks this year, making mistakes and turning the ball over in crunch time. But I think all that helped him continue to develop and understand shit. This is what it takes. They're gonna win or lose with me. So I definitely am a big fan of Cooper.
Former NBA player Keon Dooling even likens his motor to that of four-time All-Star Shawn Marion and Flagg's skill set to that of Jason Tatum. Now, being compared to two different generation All-Stars is definitely telling on the kind of talent that Cooper Flagg has. And while some former NBA stars are in awe of his motor, former NBA player Austin Rivers is also astonished with his motor, revealing that his athleticism at such a young age is even more shocking.
As the season's gone on, man, it's 20 every single night, bro. 22, 24, 26, 42. He's dominating. That dunk he had the other day. So you see that's superior athleticism. I mean, bro took off and then caught a body midair off one foot and just took him on a ride. Punched on him. Even had a dunk last night or the day before, whatever, he scored 42. Guy drove baseline, kind of founted him, cutting down the middle, but he was like a foot and a half inside from the free throw line, jumped off 2 feet and just cocked it back and punched it, man. He's 6'9", athletic, has a motor, and is now starting to get that midi.
Rivers stated that everyone always knew Flagg was a star, but many just never knew what kind of star he was going to be. But seeing what he has done in just his lone year of college basketball, he is definitely NBA ready. He further explains that what makes the forward even better is the way that he plays hard, an opinion that three-time All-Star Gilbert Arenas also has. According to the former guard, Cooper Flagg is a unicorn kid who possesses the kind of passion for the game that you cannot teach.
Cooper Flagg will be successful. What can you say about him, right? He's the number one pick. He will be the number one pick. And people say if AJ was in this draft, he would be the number one pick. Yeah, right. I'm sorry. Just Cooper Flagg has an engine you can't teach. Right, you can teach him skill, you can teach him the game, you can't teach how hard he plays this game. And 17, now 18, I'm drafting him number one.
The former NBA All-Star even likens Cooper Flagg's talents to LeBron, Zion Williamson, and Paolo Banchero, explaining that he sits up there with the kind of raw talent they were as a young kid. Gilbert Arenas, in a later interview on his show, Gil's Arena, admits that Cooper Flagg's defensive tenacity is one thing that stands out and makes him a talent to watch out for.
Cooper Flagg he defends. He's like an old school white boy. They out there playing hard as a mother.
In all of these, Cooper Flagg has earned some comparison with quite a lot of NBA stars and even Hall of Famers. And while some names are quite shocking to be said, his ceiling, it is his floor that is absolutely shocking. Dan Patrick, host of the Dan Patrick Show, recently said that Flagg's career would turn out to be a disappointment if he became a player of the same caliber as Kevin Love. If you said his career was going to be like Kevin Love's, would that be a disappointment? And it probably would be, Dan Patrick stated. Now, saying Flagg's floor is that of a 5-time All-Star and 2-time All-NBA selection at his peak is quite laughable. However, basketball fans soon realized it isn't after Kevin Love himself came out to admit that Cooper is far more talented than he ever was, going further to claim that Flagg might end up getting a statue when he eventually retired. I was pure skill and will. Cooper is far more talented than I ever was, and if he stays healthy, will have a far better career. He could very well have a statue by the time he's finished. I'm a huge fan, Kevin Love wrote on X. In any case, while different NBA legends have their various reasons for why Cooper Flagg is so good,
for this last possession. Flagg defended by Davis, got a big size advantage, tough turnaround.
They got it right the first time, and picked off. Flagg on the attack, with a slam, and a foul! Oh my!
High floor, high ceiling. Listed at 6'9" and weighing in at 205 pounds with a 7'1" wingspan, it only makes sense that Cooper Flagg slots in easily as an NBA forward. But this kid defies all odds to box him because he has proven to realistically play any spot on the court offensively and defensively. His versatility at such a young age is one of a kind, as he possesses the size, mobility, and skill set to thrive on both ends of the court. His mobility is one attribute that many NBA legends have pointed out to be a huge reason he is this good. His 40-inch vertical leap doesn't just help out offensively, but further enhances his defensive capabilities. Cooper Flagg can guard multiple positions, provide elite perimeter defense, and protect the rim. He is a unique defensive weapon. I mean, it's a consensus that he is going to be the #1 pick, and it is not unusual for most rookies to enter the draft as a defensive project. Most top prospects go #1 because of their scoring, but that is not the case with Cooper Flagg. The power forward could very well be the most polished defensive prospect of the decade.
Powell is strong.
Different when Malik is available.
Brody looking for a screen. Great pass, and Flagg with a deflection.
He is a disciplined on-ball defender, an excellent help side shot blocker, and an active rebounder. His consistent energy helps set the tone for an elite defense. Duke coach John Scheyer had this to say about Flagg's defensive impact on the team pretty recently. Flagg closes that window quick when somebody does have a scoring opportunity. It's led us to really protect our rim well, but also created some turnovers and steals that lead to easy opportunity. We have a bunch of guys that are versatile. Nobody more than him. The thing he's done great this year is guard the ball. He is a guy that can guard all 5 positions, and his defensive instincts off the ball have been a huge part of what we've done. Obviously, talking about his defensive attributes does not mean he is not a constant offensive threat.
Hill looking for a triple. The save goes back to Flagg. Flagg on the attack. Slams it down. A two-hand stop.
Defense has gotten extremely stingy as Cooper Flagg continues to find his way to the top of the...
Flagg is a talented scorer who attacks the rim, pulls up from mid-range, and launches from deep. But even at that, one of his biggest offensive attributes is that he has a feel for scoring without marginalizing his teammates. He can dominate the game without monopolizing the ball. Now, you don't see that often, even in the NBA, not to talk about an 18-year-old power forward. But for what it's worth, what makes Cooper Flagg so good could be attributed to his excellent motor, strong basketball IQ, unselfish approach on offense, and defensive versatility. He is a total package. And so far, even NBA fans are catching up on how good this kid is. According to one user, this guy is a gem. He will excel wherever he goes. He plays tough, and he has that it factor that brings electricity to any team. Another commented, Cooper Flagg is so good because of 2 things. He is an all-around player, and he never falls in love with any one aspect of his game. He doesn't get stuck trying to shoot threes only. Flexible, fluid, and unpredictable opposing defenses. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then the next video on your screen is also worth your time.